I've got to tell you about something that's seriously impressive. My good friend Chris recently tried M-Sculpt Neo at Living Well Healthcare in Elkton, and the results absolutely incredible. I'm talking visible muscle tone and fat reduction, all without stepping foot into a gym. M-Sculpt Neo is a non-invasive body contouring treatment that builds muscle and burns fat at the same time. It uses advanced technology to give you the equivalent of 20,000 crunches or squats in one session. You heard me right, 20,000. Living Well Healthcare in Elkton isn't just another wellness center. It's run by Dr. William Clifford, who's been helping people feel and move better for decades. If you're tired of working out without seeing results, or just want a kickstart to your fitness goals, this is the move. Check them out at livingwellhealthcareelkton.com. Again, that's livingwellhealthcareelkton.com. And tell them Rich and Chris sent you. Hey, everyone, it's Rich Bennett. Can you believe it? The show is turning 10 this year. I am so grateful for each and every one of you who've tuned in, shared an episode, or even joined the conversation over the years. You're the reason that this podcast has grown into what it is today. Together, we've shared laughs, tears, and moments that truly matter. So I want to thank you for being part of this journey. Let's make the next 10 years even better.
Coming to you from the Freedom Federal Credit Union Studios, Harford County Living presents Conversations with Rich Bennett.
Slow pitch or fast
It's probably the least sexy part of the organization. That's okay. No. The truth is,
Today on Conversations with Rich Bennett, I had the privilege of speaking with Amanda Kenderes, a professor of interdisciplinary. Good Lord, a professor of interdisciplinary. Damn it!
Take three.
A professor. A professor at Humphreys University and now an entrepreneur. Amanda's talk type model identifies the three core reasons people talk, offering a framework that can help us know who we are, validate our identities, and approach our relationships with greater confidence. Raised across 5 continents, not at the same time though, Amanda has developed and tested this model in diverse cultural settings, bringing a unique global perspective to her insights. Her model provides the tools to validate identities and experiences, identify personal strengths and blind spots, quickly assess personalities, engage more effectively with others, talk effortlessly. Damn, what is it today? Talk effortlessly to strangers, anticipate people's behaviors, and make decisions with insight and clarity. Now you know why I don't do this live.
It's the full moon. We just had, what was it, lunar eclipse. There's something going on. Something in the ether.
Yeah, definitely got to be something. How you doing, Amanda?
I'm doing great. Good to be here, Rich.
Oh, thanks. All right, so before we get into the book, I have to ask, because I know my listeners are probably going to wonder the same thing. I know part of the answer because 5 different continents, but you're not a military brat, right?
Not a military brat, but I am a brat. LOL. I'm an embassy brat. So
okay.
Yeah. So we were diplomatic basically. So,
okay.
Yep.
So what continents?
North and South America, Asia, Africa, Europe.
All right. Now, you may not remember this growing up, but I love to ask this of people that have been to different countries. What was one of your favorite cuisines that you've had, that you've eaten from a certain country? I don't mean a cheeseburger from South America either, you know?
Oh, gosh. I love Moroccan cuisine. I went to high school in Morocco.
Oh.
So all of that couscous and tagine and pastilla and oh my goodness. I mean, there's nothing like that.
And I said we weren't going to talk about food either before we started here. But that's always fascinated me because people will go to other countries and they won't try the cuisine.
It's mind-boggling to me.
Yeah.
No, I know. Why eat a hamburger in Portugal, or in Senegal or come on.
Yeah, it's like, okay, if you go somewhere, no, you're not going to ask for chicken tenders.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and French fries.
No,
come on.
No.
You got to experiment with it. I mean, when I was in the Marine Corps, that's one of the things I loved.
Oh,
and even here in the States, going to different places.
Yep. And like I tell my toddlers, because I'm a toddler mom, at least take a no thank you bite.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Like, try it. You can say no, but at least try it.
You don't know if you're going to like it until you try it. My philosophy is I'm going to eat it before it eats me.
That's a good one.
Yeah. But my great nephew's this way because he's just a chicken tender, doesn't like vegetables.
Oh, yep.
And I told my niece, I said, put it in a smoothie.
Yeah.
Nope, it didn't work.
Oh, no, not even the smoothie. My kids fall for that one sometimes.
Yeah, didn't work at all. All right, so the book, Talk Types.
Yep.
I can't wait to get into this because I mentor a lot of podcasters, and I think even this is great for podcasters.
Oh, for sure.
Anybody holding conversations.
That's right.
Definitely parents and children. Everybody. So
everybody that talks.
Yeah.
Just be honest. If you talk or listen or think, this is for you.
Well, actually, what inspired you to write Talk Types?
Feeling different. Yeah. Growing up on all these continents, I didn't really belong in any of them, including the United States, because I didn't grow up here. So I never really identified with U.S. culture either, because it was just as foreign to me.
Yeah.
Weirdly. Right. So I felt different, and I needed to connect with people quickly because I didn't have time to build long-term relationships. So I had to dive right in because I'd be moving quickly, So then I thought to myself, I was a curious kid, introspective. And so how do we connect with people? Well, we talk. So then I thought, well, if I can just improve the communication, I can improve the connection, and we can get there faster. So I basically became a student of communication from elementary school. And the things I had so many questions. So anytime something didn't quite work, I wouldn't just accept it or kind of, I would still get frustrated or sad or if something wasn't working, but I turned it into fuel for questions. And so something like, okay, I love deep conversation. I love heart to hearts. Not everybody does. For some people, it makes them uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I love to get deep on facts and, really, and some people don't. They're like, ugh, too much information. Who cares? They're people like that. So
you learn.
Some people love chit chat and talking about their day and whatever. Some people don't. So through all of these kind of life lessons, as I was experimenting with talk, I had questions and then I ended up answering, but it took years. Finally, when I was 19, I had enough answers to create, to see this model emerging. And then from 19 to where I am now, to when I published the book, which was 43, it was 25 more years that I poured into that study, refining the model, and here it is. So it's 35 years of work. Yeah.
Well, that already answered my next question, was how long did it take you to write? But apparently 35 years.
To get it to where, it was ready to go. Yeah, 35 years. And I realized that actually so many cool things emerged, so many cool answers. In the book, I talk about how there are only really 3 reasons that people talk, ultimately 3 reasons. And And since publishing the book, because I can't stop thinking. That's just who I am. I can't stop asking questions. And so there's more.
That's a great thing, though. That's great.
Yeah. So now I realize, wait, there are 3 reasons that we talk ultimately, but there are only 2 things that we can really talk about too. So that's not in the book, but I'm happy to talk about that. So many things to share with you. So you just let me know.
All right, wait a minute.
We'll do it.
So you said 3 things that what?
3 reasons that we talk. That's it. 3 reasons.
3 reasons that we talk and
across
2.
the planet.
All right. So what are those 3 reasons?
And I'll say this, and then I'll answer that. 3 reasons that we talk, and when you rank them by preference, we get 6 talk types.
Okay.
So that's the talk types. So 3 reasons we talk. We talk because we want. So the first one, I call them A, B, and C for shorthand. 3 reasons, A, B, C. So A's want to be. So this is just bear with me while I give you some technical definitions.
Not a problem.
Okay, great. So A's want to be objectively understood when they talk. So it's facts. I want you to objectively understand what I'm saying. And when I listen when other people are talking, when I'm listening in A, I'm listening to objectively understand. So it's all about this objective understanding, meaning it doesn't matter, and people forget what is objective, what's subjective.
Right.
Objective is it's true no matter who's doing it. 2 + 2 = 4, whether you do it or I do it. Subjective means it does matter who's doing it. If we go to a movie and you say it was great and I say it was horrible, well, that's our own subjective takeaway.
Yeah.
The subject matters, right? That we're the subject. Okay.
Well, I'm glad you explained that because some people may get that confused because with objective, you're thinking you're objecting about what somebody else likes.
Yeah, like you think you're being unbiased or something.
Right. And
those
it's the opposite.
Get thrown around. Yeah.
Yeah.
But no, objective it's a fact. It's a fact. It's a fact. And okay, so A's want to be factually understood when they talk, and they want to factually understand other people when others talk.
Okay.
They're listening. Okay. Now B's want to be. Let me go to C's. Actually, let me skip to C's. They're the opposite. They're the other understander. They want to be understood too when they talk, but they want to be subjectively understood. It's the heartfelt, the deep, the meaning making. Let me tell you my childhood. I want to be understood. This happened and that happened, and because of that, I think that sometimes hardship helps us to grow. I don't think we'd have blah 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 blah. This is the deep, heartfelt stuff that you can't scientifically prove or disprove necessarily. Right. It's subjective. It's my own conclusions, my own understanding based on my own subjective experience. So it's my takeaway. So the deep, heartfelt stuff is C. The factual stuff is A. And both of them want to be understood when they talk, and they want to understand when they listen. But B is different. B is not about understanding at all. It's not trying to be profound. It's not trying to be world-changing. B's want to be heard. They want to witness. So when they talk about their day, oh my goodness, you wouldn't believe what happened to me today. This happened and that happened. Here's my cute picture of my dog and her Halloween costume on my phone. That's B. It's not. It's just I want to be heard. I want to witness for my life, and then. That's when I talk. And then if you talk in B, if I'm a B and I'm listening, I want to just keep things open for you to be heard, and make room for you to be heard. That's it. So that's A, B, and C. We've got basically informing, relating, and meaning making. If you want to put it into terms, short terms, informing or factual stuff, A. Relating, chit chat, small talk,
right,
banter, that kind of stuff. B. C, deep, meaning making, heartfelt. And the reason that we connect with some people quickly and with others, it's like pulling teeth. It's because we don't like all of these 3 reasons for talking the same. We all have different preferences. So when we find someone that has a similar preference than us, immediate connection. It's easy. When we're working with someone that has very different preferences, then yeah, it takes more effort.
Okay, so somebody can have more than one talk type then.
Well, no, our talk type. So if we have A, B, and C are the three reasons we talk. When we rank them by preference, we get A, B, A, C, B, A, B, C, C, A, C, B. So there's 6.
Good Lord, bingo! No, I'm sorry.
Oh, we got it. And so, I mean, the thing is, yeah, we all do all 3 of the reasons for talking, but we have consistent preferences. Let me put it this way. Think about preferences and practices. Let's imagine a BC. A BC is someone who loves relating and like, I'm going to show you the pictures of the dog on my phone. I'm going to tell you about my day. We're going to do chit chat. That's B.
Right.
Underneath that is like the deep, heartfelt stuff. Okay. There's a BC, but that person has to go to work and do A because they have to do facts at work. A lot of people have to do A at work. They crunch numbers or they have to talk about. So if you look at somebody's practices, here this person is all day long and they have to do A. Mm-hmm. It might look like, oh, that they must have A. Well, no, they have to do A for their job, but it's not their natural go-to. So instead of looking at people's practices to identify their talk types, it's better to look at their preferences. So when you can just totally relax and be yourself, who are you? Who are we? And that person would be a BC because they don't love A. They can do it, but they don't love it.
Wow. 35 years.
Yeah.
And correct me if I'm wrong, there's no other books out there like this, is there?
No, that's the thing. There's really not. There are personality models like Myers-Briggs, Enneagram, thing that look at other aspects of our personality, our extroversion, introversion, decision-making and such, motivation for, what drives us, like success versus helping. But nothing that looks at our talk as a means to understand who we are. Yeah.
So have you, and if you tell me you're already doing it, then I would be blown away. But have you actually considered taking this and also turning it into a course?
Yeah.
Like a workshop?
Yeah. So there are, there's so many applications for this. This is one of them. Right now I'm kind of chatting with folks about where we want to put. There's so many applications. So yes, workshops and courses, getting into organizations and organizational development and executive leadership coaching. All this is one application. Personal applications as well, personal coaching, and then also even tech applications like AI, because the talk types could absolutely improve and even revolutionize, honestly, the way that humans interact with AI and vice versa.
Oh, I didn't even think about that because, with ChatGPT, you can, I guess, teach it how to respond like you would.
Yeah. Yeah, and there are so many applications in AI, like mental health applications, for instance, where we all know that the therapeutic relationship is central to the success of the therapy. So, but a lot of people now are using AI for their own personal therapy. So if we could improve the interaction with the AI to the person that's receiving therapy and make that a connection that's more meaningful, then we can upgrade the therapy and improve the outcomes. So it's huge.
I just saw something, I guess it's similar to that because, and you saw it a lot with COVID, especially the people that were in school that lost all that social activity. And it's hard for them to go out and reconnect again. So now you have AI friends.
Yeah. Yeah. And let's be honest. I mean, there are pros and cons to that. I mean, it is it's helping to fill a need. Mm-hmm. And that it's kind of like, holding, it's like the dam holding the floodgates. Like if if the person didn't have that need felt, it could be worse. That need filled, it could be worse, right? But at the same time, we can't. It's not a replacement. It shouldn't be a replacement. We need each other. Human to human, absolutely.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the thing is too, and we talked about this on another episode, especially. It was about addiction. Mm-hmm. A lot of times when you're talking to somebody that's in recovery or needs recovery, or anybody that's even got anxiety and depression, we can offer something that an AI friend can't. And that's something that people need a lot. And that's just a hug.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. That kind of physical touch is something.
Yes.
No matter what you do, you can't get that from an AI.
Yeah. So back to the book a minute. Okay. Not a minute. Okay. So the listeners can understand probably a little bit better. Yeah. Can you break down the core idea of the talk types in a way that the listeners will basically instantly recognize their own communication style?
Yeah. Let me see. Let me do my best, because I love my technical definitions, because they get as close as I value precision. It gets as close.
And I'm the same way.
But it doesn't land. It doesn't often land immediately. So let's see. Let's break this down. Let's go back. This could be fun.
Okay. I like fun.
I like fun too. Let's go back to and let's get even bigger. Let's think about when we think about the 5 whys plus the H. So who, what, when, where, why, how. Mm-hmm. If you're going to ask any question about anything, these are the only questions we have to ask. These are, so if we ask these questions about talk, let's go there. Okay. We want to understand talk from all of these questions. Well, some of them we can't make a model or build a model around, because they're infinite possibilities. Like who I talk to could be anyone. Mm-hmm. When I talk, anytime. Who, what, when I, where, all that. Okay. But what we're left with, why we talk, that's the talk type model answers that question, why we talk.
Right.
And it answers how we talk, because there's a whole subset of identifiable and corresponding tone of voice, body language, and words that we can use as a proxy. If somebody doesn't, because how many people actually say, Rich, here's why I'm talking to you. I'm talking for objective understanding. No, nobody does that. So we can't use that, that's hard. So, right. but we can see the body language. If I want you, oh God.
Okay. Those of you listening, Amanda's got me cracking up. It's just like a chain reaction here, going back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
I'm not making faces at her or anything.
No, we're just having fun. So, So let's say we don't have access to that why, but we do have access to the how. If I'm trying to get Rich to understand, if I'm trying to get you to understand something objective, I'm going to, what kind of tone am I going to use? I'm going to use a matter-of-fact tone, because if I throw some emotions in there, you might feel like I'm trying to manipulate you. You might feel like I'm biased. You might not feel, so I'm going to be matter-of-fact. Rich, let's talk about, I do think that you can go ahead and when I give you the address, you can take the look at the GPS. It's going to tell you to go this way. However, every time I've done it, it ends up being longer, because the GPS is not taking into consideration the construction, the blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. Okay, whatever. It's objective. My tone of voice is matter of fact. My body language is getting a little robotic, because I want you to prioritize the facts and not my feelings under it. That's my focus. So the how is a proxy for the why. So if you see someone getting kind of mechanical and matter of fact, they're probably trying to give you some A facts. Okay. B is, look at the how. It's lighthearted. It's playful. When I made the joke about, I'm not a military brat, but I'm a brat. That's a B joke.
Okay.
It's not supposed to. It's not even. It doesn't even have to be true. It's just playful. You just thinking, like I'm not really a brat. We're just having fun. Okay, that's B.
Oh God.
And then C is like that deep stuff where I'm like, I'm going to lean in, my voice.
Yeah.
So that's how, and it, it takes a second to kind of gather those different hows, but after you feel it, once you see that happening, then you can pick up on what people are really trying to do. You can pick up on the underlying why. But let me back up one more for extra fun.
Okay.
Still with me? I know I'm throwing a lot at you in a short time.
I'm loving it. Okay, I am loving it.
Okay, so let's go to the what. So what do we talk about? Now, it might seem infinite, and in the particulars it is, but not in the generalities. Here's what I mean. There are only 2 things we can actually talk about, ever. I know. Get ready for this, Rich. 2 things we can ever talk about, and it's information and experiences.
Ooh.
That's all there is. All there is information and experiences. I don't care if you're like, think about, I don't know, fill in the blank.
Wow. Yeah, no, you're right.
Yep, that's it.
Never thought about that.
Mm-hmm.
Holy crap.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm going to have fun next time my kids want to talk with me. I'm going to, what information or experience do you want to talk about? Well, I just want to talk about music, Dad. Well, that's an experience. That could be information. It could be both.
It's both, or it's one or the other every single time. And what the cool thing here is, when we look at the what, and it's only information or experiences or a combination of both, that's all that exists. Then when we look at the 3 reasons for talking, so the why, A's are factual, but what did they use to come to conclusions? Information and experiences to arrive at facts. I'm telling you about that GPS and the road and the what. I'm trying to give you my factual understanding, and it's still based on information and experiences. I'm going to show you my dog on my phone. And that's, I don't know, both information and experiences. Look, I bought this Halloween costume for her. That's information. And look how cute she is. Experience.
Wow.
And C, it's the deep, heartfelt stuff, information and experiences. I grew up around the world, and that was both really wonderful and really hard. Facts, it's information, and it's also my experience. Each one, A, B, and C, uses the same stuff, because that's all there is. It's like clay. What do you make with clay? You make different kinds of pottery, but you still will start with clay. Yeah. Everybody starts with the same clay, but we make different things with it.
Okay. Now, I want to go back a little bit, because you're talking about also with tone.
Correct. So we're back to the how.
Yeah. So, and I guess, you probably wouldn't be able to tell this, and if you can't, then it's another book for you, because what's one of the ways a lot of people communicate nowadays?
Well, electronically,
right? By text.
Yeah.
So how can you actually figure out the talk type? Well, I guess it would be text type with text, because and I think this is where a lot of people get mixed up when it comes to texting. Now, back in my day, if you used all caps, that meant you were yelling.
Shouting, yeah.
Yeah. So can you determine that with a text message?
Well, here's the cool thing, Rich. So you're absolutely right.
Don't even tell me you can.
I think you can. Maybe not 100% of the time, maybe, but the more you have, the better, the easier it is. If you have one word, it's hard, but if you have a few words or a paragraph or whatever, it gets easier because you have more data. But here's the thing. When we look at the how, what how do we have? We've got tone of voice, which voice, yes, you can kind of see that in writing, but sometimes you can't, okay. But also we have, and body language. We're not going to get body language in text. But the other thing that we have is words used. And A's, B's, and C's use words differently. So even if the only thing we have is words, we can still arrive at a conclusion. In fact, Rich, a cool experiment. This is fun. You can we can tell if somebody's doing A, B, or C. Even so, let's say, for example, with just words used.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna. So you're a vet,
Yeah.
right?
Marine Corps veteran.
Or Marine, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you've been, I'm sure to other countries, I imagine, right? Okay, so you've heard, maybe you turn on the radio and it's another language, or you turn on the TV and it's somebody's talking another language. But guess what? You and I could look at that TV, and just by body language and tone of voice, we could identify if they're doing A, B, or C. We don't even have to understand.
That's true. Yeah. Okay.
And the same thing with the radio. We could just listen to tone of voice without seeing body language, without understanding words used. So we could do this experiment where, we don't have access to all of them. We just need one. That's the point. Whether it's the words they use, the tone of voice, or the body language. It's great if we get all three, but we don't need all three.
Okay.
Super rad. I know. Rad.
Well, because I think of texting, but not just texting, even talking. And you did it when we first started, actually, come to think of it. People will throw the acronyms out there, like with LOL. And my daughter does it a lot. And I always have to ask her what the hell it means, which just makes the conversation go even longer. Of course, she gets frustrated. She's like, come on, really? You can't figure it? No, I can't. But I'll never forget this. I got a text message from somebody, and it wasn't a long message, but I can't even tell you how many different acronyms in there. And I had no idea what the hell they were saying.
Exactly. I know. Yeah.
It threw me off.
Yeah.
And I just found out not too long ago, apparently LOL has two different meanings.
It's evolved. Yeah, LOL has evolved.
Yeah. So what? Laugh out loud and lots of love. Was there another one that it evolved into?
Not that I know of.
Okay.
But yeah, LOL is not used the same as it was for certain generation.
It's like, holy cow.
Yeah.
All right. So you're listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. We'll be right back. WHFC 91.1 FM. That's right. Harford Community College radio station. It's more than just great music. It's about community. And they're showcasing the talents of the students and community volunteers. WHFC is designed for and run by the Harford County community. It's focused on teaching and learning. WHFC Student Learning Lab is for anyone interested in radio and podcasting. You heard me right. So if you want a career in radio or podcasting, Harford Community College is the place for you, and you can learn at their radio station. Go to WHFC911.org or tune in on the dial at 91.1 FM and give them a listen. I guarantee you'll love the music. And if you want to get into broadcasting or podcasting, then check them out. I'd like to get into, because you say you do coaching as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And which I'm sure you're using the talk types.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense.
Right.
And I love feel good stories. So I'm going to flip it a different way. What's one of the most dramatic transformations you've seen when someone started using the talk type, it's a talk type model, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in their life.
Yeah, honestly, one of the most dramatic ones, lots of dramatic ones, but here, I'll sort of answer in a roundabout way. We'll get there. What usually when people pick up this book or understand the model, it's one or two responses. Some people take some time to kind of ease into it because for whatever reason, there's a warm up period where they go, okay, I'm just trying to let this land. Right.
Right.
But then the more they see it, it's building. It builds over time, and it's not immediate. But then they do see it. Other people, it's immediate, and they say, "Oh my goodness, all my life I have felt." So if you're asking about more dramatic ones, it would be the second scenario. But at the end of the day, people still end up in the same place. But with the dramatic ones, it's like, wow, it's validating. I did not know, like all these times when I thought basically something was wrong with me. When like let's say you're a CB or a BC, you don't have A, and you're in circles where everyone wants to talk facts, and you just feel like this is not interesting. What's wrong with me?
Feel left out.
You feel left out, and then you realize, oh, with the talk types, I'm just being me. I'm not a defective someone else. I'm a normal me, and that's okay. I have for example, I have a student who's a CB and her boyfriend is an AB. And, when she, because I teach the talk types in my classes as well, in my university. And she said it's completely changed the way that they do their daily life. If before when they had conflict, they couldn't figure out like what's going wrong, like something's wrong. And you're giving me A, but I don't, and I'm trying to give you C. So the boyfriend doesn't have C. Think about relationships. Where do we overlap? If this student is a CB, her boyfriend is an AB, their area of overlap would be B. So this is going to predict their area of connection and their area of talk time. They're going to spend the most talk time in B because that's where they overlap. That naturally B.
Right.
But the girlfriend is going to need to get her C needs, her, heartfelt, meaningful, vulnerable stuff probably met with her friends. And the boyfriend's probably going to need to get his A needs, the factual, all that stuff needs met with his friends or at work or wherever he might find that. And so now we can predict, okay, where are they going to spend their time talking? Where are they going to spend? Where are they going to have likely the most connection? And where are they going to have likely the most conflict? And that's going to be in, the C and the A, the part that doesn't overlap. But now, instead of just having conflict where they're going, something's wrong with you. You can't, open up to me. You don't open up to me. You don't share. You don't care about me. You try to fix it. Whatever.
Right.
Vice versa. Now the couple's going, oh, well, you're just being A and you're just being C. Or could I ask you to just try to be a little bit more C with me right now? Because that's what I need. Oh, and I need you to be just a little bit more A if you can. Just try to hold space for me for a minute for that. And so it's validating for self. It lets others off the hook. We don't take things personally, and we can navigate relationships with so much more grace and efficiency.
Wow. Okay. with your book, and I don't know if you can answer this or not, because I can see how a lot of therapists, this book would come in handy for them.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know of any that's gotten your book, and have you heard from them?
I was on a podcast recently with a therapist who was whose name eclipses me right now, but she was using it in her work, and she had some fascinating epiphanies and with clients where there was, let's say, a kid, the proverbial black sheep of the family,
right,
like acting out, whatever. And they had been doing family therapy and it wasn't working. And then introduced the talk type model. The kid realizes, oh, you know what? I have C. In other words, I have the need for that deep, meaning making, vulnerable, heart to heart sharing. And nobody in my family has C. They're either AB or BA. And so when I try to do a heart to heart, I start, when I was younger, like I'm pretending I'm the kid now, but when the kid was younger, they might have tried to do that kind of heart with their family, but it wasn't received. The family just didn't know. It's not their fault. They weren't trying to be, but they didn't know how to do it. And so the kid ended up just acting out and feeling unheard, unseen, not understood, uncared for. Mm-hmm. And once that talk type model was introduced, people could finally see each other for who they really are. And I think the key here is that our talk types it's not just the way we talk. It's not just a description of how we talk. It's actually a window into how, our values, what we hold dear, and how we feel loved. Because if somebody can talk to us, listen to us, and receive what we say, that makes us feel loved in our own way. And so that poor child, that kid was not feeling loved, even though the family probably was doing they're in therapy, like they care.
Yeah.
The families wouldn't even be in therapy at that point. So the family does care. They just don't know how to do the thing that the child actually needs.
So do you think this is something that's easy enough for kids to learn?
Oh, yeah. And in fact, it's quite clear from a very early age that children, toddlers even, exhibit a preference for these talk. We can see preferences in our own children from a very early age. And once we do that, we can interact with them in a way that maximizes connection and minimizes, conflict.
Wow.
So it helps us as parents. Yeah.
So with this as not, so God, married couples, family, how have you talked to any companies, CEOs or anything that have used your book?
Yes.
I would think this would be great for meetings.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. It is. It absolutely is. Yeah. I've talked with CEOs about it, and they actually had their staff take the talk type test, which is in beta version right now. It'll soon be available on talktypes.com. But
well, okay, go ahead. I'm listening now. Go ahead. I mean, I've been listening, but I didn't know about talktypes.com.
Oh yeah. Okay. And that then it's a quick and easy way to determine talk types, and then get everybody to in the organization to see, because let's be honest, in especially in a large organization, of course there are only 6 talk types. Of course there are going to be all 6 represented, and that's a good thing, because each of us needs all of us. And if we're marketing a product or service, the people who are gonna buy it are gonna be all of these 6 talk types. So we want that input in so that we can make a more appropriate product or service to the people actually receiving it. But how we work together, it's helpful, absolutely, to know each other's talk types.
I think you need to. There's a book that's been out for a long time. You need to pair it up with that book.
What's that?
Napoleon Hill, The Law of Success.
I love Napoleon Hill.
Oh, because I think your book would be great for even mastermind groups.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. For sure.
Oh, okay. So when are you going on tour?
Yeah. Right.
your speaking tour?
Yeah. No. Soon. Let's just say soon. I'm all ready for it. Yeah.
Oh, you're being serious there.
No, I am being serious.
Oh, holy crap. Okay. I didn't realize that. So you actually are going on a speaking tour.
Yeah, Rich, I love it. You're like, oh wait, that was A, not B. That's exactly what that is.
Okay. Now, all right. I want to get back to the speaking tour here for a minute. Are you going speaking with others? In other words, like on the stage, sort of like the TED Talks?
Yeah, so that's all in the plan right now. I'm speaking with CEOs and potential coaching clients, and I'm working with AI, so some AI applications right now. I'm waiting to see what lands. So we're talking right now. Yeah, things are in the making. So if I talk to you in a little bit down the road, then I'll have clear-cut answers. But right now, something's going to happen, but I can't tell you exactly what it is because I'm still in the conversation. It's fresh.
But if people can actually contact you and have you come and speak, though,
correct?
Right?
Oh, yes, correct. So if they go to amandakenderes.com and just fill out. There's a form. It's brief, and we can connect.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So go back to the talk types. That was it, talktypes.com and this test.
Yes.
When's that going to be available? Or I'm dying to take this thing.
Absolutely. Actually, it shouldn't be long. I don't know how often from when you do the recordings to when these come out. The podcasts, it might already be available by the time your listeners are hearing this, but they can definitely check. It won't be long. Right now the website is under construction because I've got some cool things coming. They're adding to it, and so it's just not up, but it won't be long.
Can you share what kind of cool things you got?
Yeah. So anytime anybody takes this talk type test, with the user's permission, of course, it records the location. This is a general location. So in other words, are you in the United States? Are you in Europe? Are you whatever? And all of that data gets put onto a global map where we're going to start seeing if there are patterns in where talk types show up culturally around the world.
That's smart.
Really cool.
Wow. Okay. So, Amanda.
Yes.
Speaking, coaching, and you're still teaching at the university, right?
Yeah.
Man, when the hell are you finding time for all
I don't know. And then throw in 2 toddlers. I don't know.
2?
Oh, yeah. 2 toddlers.
I'm afraid to ask you this next question now. But I have to because I ask everybody. Any plans on starting your own podcast?
Oh man, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I actually have some people that are helping me out with the direction of all this because there's so much. And so I've got actually have people that are here with me, helping me out, going, okay, we're going to help you make plans here and there. We're going to give you some direction in terms of what we think the next step is, because it is absolutely so much. And it's the best possible problem you can have,
Yeah.
But that might be in the works. We're just going to see if if it turns out that that's where I'm being suggested to go, that I'm absolutely okay to take that. But we'll see. I'm open, Rich.
So with the book,
yeah,
because your book is like a guidebook.
Yeah.
Any plans on bringing out I guess like a almost like a workbook to go with it?
Yeah, that would be so. If I go take this into the kind of workshopping route, there would absolutely be a workbook. And I think it's a great idea. Okay. I just, honestly, it's a pragmatics issue right now where I have so many plates spinning that I have to just prioritize which one right now. But absolutely, I'm all over that. I think it's a great idea.
Now, what's so far with the book? And I'm looking on Amazon now, and it's God, on the charts. It's doing very well. Actually, in the top 100 in the one category, which is awesome. But I love this. Those of you listening, okay, of course, you can get in paperback, hardcover, Kindle, or guess what? Audio book. I guess who does the narration? Yours true. No, not me. I mean, Amanda does. And thank you for that, because something I always tell authors, if it's a novel, I can understand not doing it yourself, but this is you.
Yeah.
Did you just decide on your own, say, you know what, I'm going to do the audiobook version and it's going to be me?
Yeah.
Or did somebody have to talk you into it?
No, because, honestly, fun fact, I used to host TV shows when I was younger. I don't mind. The media work is fun for me.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold up. You used to be a TV host as well?
In Korea when I was 19.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
All right. Do you speak Korean?
Yeah.
No. Well, yeah. I mean, 5 different continents. I guess you did have to learn how many different languages can you speak?
Gosh. So there's the Korean, Spanish, French, mainly those are the ones. And then, a little Arabic, thrown in.
Oh, no.
But just a little.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So how many different languages is your book in?
Right now it's only English, but you're absolutely right. That's also in the works, in the plan to get this translated because, yeah.
You've been blowing my mind this whole damn time. It's like, holy cow, man. And just to let you know, none of these questions were given to me by Madison either. I like, what?
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Next thing you're going to tell me is that you also sing, right?
I do, actually.
Oh, come on. Oh, shit. No. Damn, are you serious?
No, seriously, yeah.
Oh, Amanda,
I love it.
If you ever come out this way, you and I just got to sit there. Oh, God, I could sit there with you for hours.
We would have a blast. We totally have to do that.
Wow. Holy cow. That is, okay. So, what the hell? Oh, talk types.
Right.
Okay. So those of you listening, make sure you get the book. After you read it, leave a full review, purchase it for other people. Those of you that own a business, buy it for your employees as well. Even those of you that are in the nonprofit world, I think it would be great for your board to have. This is a book that everybody needs. All you people that are into podcasting, all you podcast hosts, get it. And what's the next book going to be? Listening types?
Well, this actually is. It's so funny because it is. Yeah, it's talk. I call it talk types because we're limited by language, but how we talk is also how we listen. So it's all included.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I mean there are so many more books to be written on this for sure.
Are you actually working on another book?
Oh yeah, there's a part 2. There's a part 2. Rest assured.
That's right. You mentioned something about that in the beginning.
Oh yeah.
So explain why part 2.
Well, because talk types, very, very, very briefly, talk types explains differences between people, but the part 2 explains differences within a talk type. So if somebody's a BA and somebody else is an AC, okay, now I understand why those two people are different. But what makes two ACs different? Because all ACs aren't the same. All BAs aren't the same. What accounts for some of those differences? And yes, of course, not everything can be explained by talk types, but the parts that can, the next book is going to explain that.
Ooh, which means you're going to have to come back on again.
There it is, Rich.
And you might have to sing.
I might.
So if there's one thing you hope that readers take away from talk types, what would it be?
I'm okay, you're okay.
Oh. Man, that is okay.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Are you okay?
I am.
I'm more okay now since I started talking to you.
That is power. When you can really own that and internalize, like, I'm okay, and you're okay. Like, I'm okay to be myself. And I realize that this validates who I am.
Mm-hmm.
And when I validate myself, I can also extend grace to you and validate who you are. And then we can move through the world with that kind of power. Wow.
Yeah.
Hello.
Man. All right. So before I get to my last question,
Yes.
actually, you know what? You've blown my mind so much already. I can't remember. Did we give your website? Websites?
I don't
Tell
know.
everybody how they can
Okay.
get in touch with you and the
Sure.
website.
So amandakenderes.com and talktypes.com. Those are the two ways. And there's, like I said, I think we did the amandakenderes.com. There is a form. They can just submit a query, and then we can be in touch. And talktypes.com, the test is coming, and the world map and all that good stuff. Lots of goodies.
And I'll make sure I have the links in the show notes.
Perfect.
So before I get to my last, you know what? No, I'm not. Okay. Because I have some listeners that send me questions. So I want to use one of those questions as the last one. But what's the first small step listeners can take today to improve their conversations and better connect with people in their lives?
Well, from a talk types perspective, it would be to definitely understand, like learn talk types. I mean, it's not even a small step. I think it's a huge step. I mean, it's a small step to actually learn them, but what it provides is a huge, result.
Mm-hmm.
It's a massive change if you apply it to your life. So the small step would be learning those. And then first identify yourself, read the book, see what you are, make sure that the concepts land, and then start to identify the family members around you. There are examples in the book of famous people that can kind of help get that ball rolling. And then once you see it, you can't unsee it. It's just right. It just can't. It's everywhere.
All right. So is there anything you would like to add before, and this question is perfect, that you would like to add before I get to the last question?
Oh gosh. Nothing offhand. I think if I started to add something, we might go for another 30 minutes. So maybe I shouldn't. Give me the last.
All right, my longest episode was 2.5 hours, so I'm not worried about that.
Oh, wow. Nice.
On the weather.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yes, it was.
Now I'm curious.
All right, so it was an elementary school teacher, Pete Ross. It was one of my, actually, I think my daughter had him as a teacher, and a young man who at the time was in high school had started a website called Harford County Weather Watch. And the young man was from somewhere in Tornado Alley. And it seemed like their website was more accurate than the people that were giving you the weather on TV. But yeah, we spent 2.5. It was one of the most downloaded episodes for a long time.
Fascinating.
It was weird. Yeah. But I've always been fascinated by tornadoes. I mean, I know they're not great.
No, but I get it.
But the first one I ever saw was over the water in Okinawa, Japan, and it, water spout, and it was pearl white, beautiful. And I've always said, if I lived in Tornado Alley or anywhere out there, that would be my job. I'd be one of those chasers. Probably wouldn't be around today.
Not.
But oh yeah, it just, I was, you get so wrapped up in a conversation, time slips away.
That's right.
Very quickly. All right. So this is perfect because we were talking about what, when, how, all that. And this comes from Tommy Thompson Jr.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't think I would ever be able to ask this question, but this is perfect. If you could go back to any point in your life and change the way you handled a certain situation, would you? Why? How? And what would you say?
Sure. I wouldn't have gotten married because now I'm divorced. LOL.
I think that LOL you're talking about, laugh out loud.
That's laugh out loud. That's laugh out loud. What? Because I didn't know then what I know now. I didn't have part 2 of the talk types worked out, and
right.
And you know what? It was probably in part my marriage that helped me to work it out. So in that sense, it was worth it.
Yeah.
But so maybe I wouldn't go back and change it. Who the heck knows? But that's my immediate kind of answer.
Well, and that's the weird thing. I mean, because when I saw that question, I'm like, if you could go back and change something, that could change the whole outcome of everything else.
Oh, absolutely. It's a whole domino effect,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, would you want to?
Well, and
I don't think I would.
Well, and the answer, would we want to? It's twofold, because if I'm just thinking personally, well, heck, I would want to change that, because
right.
Divorces aren't fun and blah blah blah. But in terms of the net gain or impact for others, well, no, actually, that was probably the catalyst for this second part of Talk Types, which is going to help God only knows how many people. So
right.
In that sense, if I'm thinking with that hat on, I wouldn't change it.
Yeah.
So I think that's what's cool about some of these things that we think are setbacks, can really be the moments of transformation for us, and the things that help not only ourselves but others the most.
Mm-hmm. God, Amanda, I cannot wait to have you on again. This was a blast.
Yeah.
Those of you listening, when you get the book, also, if you can, either leave me a voicemail, email, or whatever to let me know how you used it or are using it, and what you thought about it. Because I think in the future, this could be a nice roundtable conversation with you co-hosting, having some other people on that have read the book and learned how to determine the talk types.
Oh, that sounds fun. Let's do it, Rich.
I'm in.
All right.
I'm in. I'm definitely in. I haven't laughed this hard in a long time on the podcast. So.
Oh, yeah.
Amanda, thank you so much.
It's been fantastic. Thank you, Rich. And I look forward to the next one.
Thank you for listening to Conversations with Rich Bennett. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and learned something from it as I did. If you'd like to hear more conversations like this, be sure to subscribe to the podcast so you never miss an episode. And if you have a moment, I'd love it if you could leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners and share more incredible stories. Don't forget to connect with us on social media or visit our website at conversationswithrichbennett.com for updates, giveaways, and more. Until next time, take care, be kind, and keep the conversations going.
This is Jordan Lally with the Ed Lally Foundation and the acoustic rock band Big Infinite, inviting you to a very special live music event at the Havre de Grace Opera House on May 23rd. We will be hosting not only a concert, but an experience of togetherness and connection for everyone in attendance. And all proceeds from this event go to benefit the Ed Lally Foundation's mental health and suicide prevention outreach. We would love for you to join us. For more details or to purchase tickets, visit edlallyfoundation.org or head over to the Havre de Grace Opera House website.